Welcome to Econ with Dr. A, where we break down economics and business topics to empower your life. I'm Dr. A, your guide on this journey. Join me in explaining the insights that matter, helping you make informed decisions for a better personal and financial future. Let's get started. Welcome back to Economics with Dr. A. Today, I'm recapping some of our successes from 2023. At the end, I will share some challenges that we are facing, and hopefully you can help us overcome them. So first of all, let's talk about this podcast. At the end of 2023, we introduced a podcast so we can reach more people. And 1 month in, and this has been one of the best ideas we have had. The reality is podcasts require a different way of creating, thinking, and communicating. And the numbers indicate that you all like this format. If you haven't yet, make sure that you share this with your friends so that we could grow our following on the podcast, the Econ with Dr. A podcast. The newsletter on Substack, you could access it at withdra.com. And one thing that has happened in this past year is we have seen the numbers on the newsletter double in 2023. We're a little bit above 1,800 subscribers that read our content on a weekly basis, and one of our goals this year is to double that following again. So if you haven't signed up for our newsletter, make sure to do that. Our bread and butter has been YouTube for the past 3.5 years. I've been working on growing the YouTube channel. It has been a long journey, but this year the YouTube channel gained 5,400 subscribers. And more importantly, we've seen views and engagement increase as well. In 2023, 227,000 people watched our content and logged in 7,500 of watch time, 7,500 hours of watch time. It feels like 2024 is going to be our breakout year. I'm grateful for everybody that has been part of that journey. As far as most popular videos created in 2023, obviously the video on your future as an economics student was number one. The video that I created about 2 months ago, I think at this point, on the research that evaluates hard to pronounce names and labor market outcomes, the video's titled "Is Your Name Costing You a Job?" is doing really well. So we might hopefully in the future include more research-oriented videos. And then third was my analysis and my explanation of bank runs, the Silicon Valley Bank collapse explained in 3 minutes. It was fun creating that video, but the reality is that video was actually not going to be created. I did not want to jump into the current event without having enough information to be accurate. But Jenny actually convinced me that my voice mattered and people needed to hear from me. And that's probably going to be the common theme going into 2024 is provide more current and relevant information about what's happening in the market. That seems to be something that resonates with you all. So thank you for engagement on YouTube. One of the highlights of 2023 was the development of the Econ with Dr. A team. So if you're reading any of the articles or listening to the podcast, you might hear me say "we," and that's not a royal we. We because we actually have a team now. In 2023, I was able to weave in my mentorship efforts into the economic content creation by working with a team of young professionals that are interested in being professors or moving into academia somehow in the future. So your support of the newsletter, YouTube channel, and the podcast help develop this mentorship program. It also allows me to teach the next generation of economic and business communicators. Becca Wilson, Fawaz Abdulaziz, Grace McCon, and Antoine Batts have been really instrumental in the work that we do. They've been ideating, producing, and worked on a lot of the content that we shared this year. Obviously, I would not be able to produce any of this content without Jenny Albarani, who has taught me how to think about audiences, value proposition, and how to create value for our community. Her views on entrepreneurship and creation have been instrumental in how I view education. I've learned a lot from her, and I'm hoping that we can include her in more YouTube and podcast content in 2024. She likes being behind the scene. So this is one issue that we have is she likes being behind the scene, but I think she needs to be on the podcast and maybe also on the videos. So if you want to help encourage her to join the front end of this production, leave a comment in on the description of this podcast and tell her that we want more Jenny. As far as challenges ahead of us, one area that we continue to struggle with is video editing and post production. If you have some editing skills and might be interested in working with us, reach out. As my free time becomes more scarce with my full time job, so I'll need to offload video editing responsibilities. I love editing, but as the theory of comparative advantage from economics has taught me, it tells me that I need to pass on this responsibility to someone else. And that's going to be one of the goals for 2024. But we want to make sure that we have somebody that clicks with the team really well, works in the same work ethic, and has the same perceptions that we have. So we'll be a bit picky, but reach out if you're interested. As far as the future for 2024, there's a lot of potential for our efforts to grow and impact more people. It's important for me to reflect and recall why I actually started these efforts. And the reason is because I realized, although there are a lot of economists on social media and a lot of great ones, very few of them looked like me or sounded like me or had my story. So I truly believe in the role model effect, and I hope that my passion for economic and business education can influence or impact somebody else into following my footsteps. And I hope that it encourages more people to learn about these subjects and inspire more people to pursue these fields. So that's a quick recap of 2023. I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for being part of this journey. I'm grateful for each one of you, and I look forward to continuing to provide my economic and business insight and hopefully make this world a little bit less mysterious on how it works, at least from the economic and business lenses. So, what I would like for today is I would like to learn more about what you all would like to see more of on the podcast, the YouTube channel, or the newsletter. After all, we're creating this content for you, and we want to hear from you. So, reach out, tell us what you think. Happy New Year. See you all in 2024.